Hey everybody, this is Jordan with the Crohn's Veteran Podcast. Welcome. I'm joined today by my amazing co-hosts CJ Cabrera and Renika Wood. How you guys doing today?
Excellent.
Doing great.
Excellent.
Awesome. We are super grateful and honored to have an amazing guest. Aiesha Reese is joining us today. How you doing?
Hey y'all, how are you guys? So blessed to be here.
Thank you,
Definitely.
Man.
thank you for being here. It's super excited. As I want to get right into it. There's I think sharing your story is going to help a lot of people today, and so do us a favor and tell us a little bit about who you are, your background, and and your journey with IBD, please.
Absolutely. My mom always gets mad at me, okay, when I never, she's like, what about high school? What about it was before then? I'm like, you're right, mom. But that was her criticism to me. But I am originally from Flint, Michigan. That's where I'm born and raised. And I went to school at Wayne State University. And that's where I was able to receive a degree, my BFA in acting. And that's actually what brought me to my new home in Manhattan in New York City. Well, we
Cool.
could just say New York City for now. And I was blessed and I had contacts in the industry and did well from a showcase. So I had opportunities to go straight to Broadway. But before moving here, when I was in college, I had symptoms of Crohn's disease, which at that time I had never heard of. I
Mhm.
just knew that I was always in a lot of pain. And it came from the abdominal region. And I was young. So I know when I moved here, that's when everything changed and I was diagnosed with Crohn's the first year I moved here in like a couple of months of being here. And that was in April 2014. And so basically I found out that, it was a type of IBD, inflammatory
Mhm.
bowel disease. And at that point, it was, I had been so many years of being untreated that it was at a point of, oh my God, you have to act urgently.
Right.
And I actually, in the beginning, did not because I was very intimidated and afraid because of, how doctors and people feed you with so much information. So it was I was only 22 years old, so it was so much information. But make a long story short, I had a colostomy surgery, and that was the first time I ever had a colostomy bag. And yeah, that lasted for about 3 years. And I did treatment, Remicade treatment, which is,
Mm.
um, you know, intravenous. It started
Mhm.
off every week and then it went every 4 weeks, and which is every month, and then every 6 to 8 weeks.
Mm-hmm.
And up until about that time, I would say probably until I was supposed to have a reversal because it was a reversal colostomy. So
Okay.
basically, it was like, oh, once it's healed, it's reversed. But up until 2017, I actually went into a coma. And that was due to blood clots, actually. Okay. And so the blood clots traveled throughout the body and it hit the intestine, and I woke up without an intestine. And that was a brand new journey. Okay. Because I didn't even realize that someone could live without that. Okay. It was extremely alien like. I couldn't
Mm.
even believe it was me. But, there was hope. And the hope was to receive this spectacle, new, but proven to work, small bowel intestinal transplant. And so there was hope, oh my God, she can live if she can get well and get that. And so I received my first transplant on my mom's birthday. That was crazy. And I learned so much from that. It actually only had it for 2 weeks in the hospital. Um, and then after that, I had to wait about 3 years or so until I
Mm.
got the next one. But, you know, um, in between that time, of course, when you don't have that organ, there's no eating because it's the
Mm-hmm.
whole digestive process happens there. So I did a man-made treatment known as TPN.
Mm-hmm.
And TPN stands for temporary parenteral nutrients. So it's basically a man-made compound that, pharmacists mix together that gives you all the nutrients that you need. So I did that every day from 14 to 16 hours. And I did it by myself at home. You know, I will have a nurse that came, but I did it myself, which I can't believe I did by myself. It's
No, that's
unbelievable.
like no joke.
Blown. Okay.
That's really amazing.
Yeah.
Blown. But you know, that happened in May 19th, 2019. I call it my miracle day, because that was the day, you know, that my prayer was answered and I was able to receive a transplant that's working, and I'm speaking to you guys now. Wow, 2 years later almost now. Isn't that amazing?
That's amazing.
By the grace of God. Yeah. But one thing I can tell you is, you know, that journey, I mean, it was so, you know, obviously, but in those down moments is when I learned so much, right? Process and process is so necessary, because in it you discover you're so much more. I realized I was so much more than a performer, that I actually had a brand, that I actually had a voice and a purpose. So the process led to my purpose, and my trials led to my treasure. So that was something I discovered in those moments.
Wow. That's awesome, right? You and I have spoken outside of here, and you know, I just share with you, like, your story is just so awesome, and then your resilience throughout the process, your gratitude, your appreciation, like all of those things, just so how to say the word, so encouraging for me. You know, I guess my question is, now that you have this new chance in life and to live abundantly, like, how have you, like, okay, what things have you learned in this process outside of you learning about your brand? Like, what things have you learned about you in particular, about this whole process you've been through?
So amazing that you're saying that, because it's so right on time, because, you know, just laughing because God has a sense of humor, y'all. Listen,
Dude.
after I received my transplant, I thought I was gonna like dash and just go into everything, because that's how I used to be, right? Okay. I was like, oh yeah, I'm gonna run, you know, and then it was like the Sandman gave me the old Yankee, right? Like, slow down, because I had to learn some things about myself. And I feel like 2020, which obviously has been a huge, massive thing globally, was actually for me an opportunity to learn. It was actually, I feel like it's still actually going on. It's a preparation. It was a preparation time, which I realized I didn't have an opportunity to have. And not even for myself, I feel it was an opportunity for people to face themselves and acknowledge, what is it about you that you need to know in order to go to the next level?
Right.
Growth. So for me personally, what I learned was, wow, I need to embody rest, like, truly. And you know, you mentioned gratitude. Self-care is gratitude.
It is.
Because it's showing appreciation for the gift of life, period. And when you have that appreciation, because I realized, wait a minute, this is like beyond a needle in a haystack of a blessing. If I'm trying to get out there and just work myself to the bone, and then I'm back in the hospital, how is that operating in a miracle? Resting is showing my appreciation. So for me, I had to learn how to really embrace that, not feel guilty about it. Understand that it's okay. Understand that, you know, because you know how, like, a soldier that has been in war or on the battlefield for, like, I don't know, 5 months, and they're running and they don't even realize until they get to the home fort. They say, oh, wow, I didn't even know that my pinky was shot. I didn't know that I had this wound, you know, like how that is. It's like you go into, that's how it was for me. So 2020, I had a lot of healing to do, a lot of forgiving, a lot of different things. I didn't even realize that was my junk I had to deal with, and I had to take out, right? So to answer that, it was so much of that for me personally, where I learned that I had to forgive. I learned that I needed to heal. You know, I learned that, you know, the expansion, you know, it gave me an opportunity to really sit down and think, what is my purpose and how can I conduct this in a way that I'm not burning myself out? And so for me, I learned, like, wow, a lot of the things that happened to me that I need to forgive was actually not even about me.
Mm-hmm.
It wasn't even, we get so personal about everything, and it seems as though offended by everything that happens to us. But if we're able to really understand and not look with our natural eyes, but look with our spiritual eyes and recognize, wait a minute, this is for someone else. What I'm experiencing is what makes you relatable, and it's what makes you a trumpet. And so I had to recognize that the different stages I had been through with IBD, with Crohn's. I mean, I went through so many different layers and levels in what some people experience in a lifetime, right? I experienced all of that in like 6 years or something, you know what I mean? And it's what makes me noteworthy and a voice for those in that community. The pain, whatever it was that I experienced, I don't take it personally anymore. Now I know that I can actually uplift and show people you can defy those odds. You have the power inside. We all have it. We're literally the solution to our problems. What the heck? You know, it's so easy to play the victim, right? And we don't even realize we're doing it. And I learned that that's something that I was doing until I rose up and said, wait a minute. And this is, hey, it's written that we are more than conquerors. We're victors. Mm-hmm. And so that's what I had to say. Wait a minute. Okay. I can easily play the victim because some terrible things happened to me. I'm traumatized. Okay. I had to acknowledge that. But I said, but on top of that, I have the power inside. And it's not about me. It's not about my talents, my abilities. It's about the one who created me. It's about our Father. It's about having the perspective of Christ, not religion, but understanding that Christ is like an athlete. He has the ability to do, or she, miracle signs and wonders wherever we go and experience them. And that includes changing your situation. And so that's what it was for me that I realized when I was sitting in my muck and I'm like, I'm not supposed to be like this. I just got my miracle. What is going on?
Right.
And I had to go through that so I could really open up for this purpose and really allow that healing to happen so I can go to the next level. So growth can occur, because that's what growth is about, right?
Right.
Yes.
I mean, everyone's path looks different, but that's what I hope I answered your question.
You did. Thank you.
That was a phenomenal answer. I was just like this sitting here captivated the whole time. So, so thank you for that. CJ?
I just got to say that I totally related to everything you said. And it's crazy because I was, these past couple of days, I've been trying to figure out why I've been in such a funk. And today I actually sat down and I wrote something. It's about a post. And I was trying to figure out what is causing me to be so negative and have so much negative energy, and just to hold on to that. And then as I was writing, I literally sat down and I wrote for almost 4 hours. And I legit I did a whole bunch of self-reflecting. I stopped blaming everything around me. I started to take more accountability for myself. And it's really true. You really have to, talk to yourself and, understand yourself in order for you to heal.
True.
Yeah.
Go ahead, George. You have something, George?
Oh yeah, I was just gonna, I was just listening to you also, 2020. You're talking, I definitely experienced some of that, that reflection and just trying to, growth and, life is so full of, I guess, the things that they think might be bad, but return to be a hidden a hidden good thing. And so that's I lost my job that I've been out for several years because of COVID and stuff. And so, but it's funny, instead of being stressed out, that was when I finally quit cigarette smoking after 20 years, right after I lost my job during a pandemic. I was like, you know what, if I could quit now, like that, and I'm like, why not? And so like, so actually in April it'll be a year that I've been smoke free. And so thank you.
Congratulations.
Thank you very much.
That
And so
is
that's,
so amazing.
thank you. That's, I mean, that's like my oldest habit, like since I was like 16 or something like that, something we
Wow,
did,
yeah.
so something, and so like, and so, so being able to, to finally not just like give it up, but to give it up. It's done. It's over. It's yesterday's news. And so it's all about growth. Life is, I'm a strong believer in just, we're just, life is about lifelong learning and growth, and trying to be, you're not your yesterday. It's about, doing, trying to be your personal best. And, if that's just, taking, being restful today, that's okay too.
Yes.
Absolutely.
I agree with that. Just speaking to you, the type of motivation and things you've been through in regards to your years of battling with IBD, and you say about your miracle. A lot of people have the opportunity to have that miracle, or they don't see a remission road in their future. They don't see a better day. They only see the cloud, the fog, the rain, the storm. There's never sunshine. So I think that what I'm learning is that learn how to create that sunshine, or whatever that sunshine appears to be to you. Because people think sunshine is the base of the sun. That's what we think, but really it's what you think or make it to be. So through the course of me having IBD, I learned about the word gratitude, self-acceptance, and I'm also learning how to be there for other people in the
That's
midst of me
right.
being for myself as well. But knowing when to pull back when I'm not emotionally available to be able to take on anything outside of what I have going on myself. Does that
Excellent.
make sense? I think the question that I'm really having now is that with you having your transplant and you had a IBD before, so I know I asked you before, but I think a little more clarity. So are you clear from Crohn's, like just no type of diagnosis of Crohn's anymore? Like how does that process work?
It's one of those things that, I am baffled by. I mean, God never ceases to amaze me. And listen, it's so funny bring this up because I have people in the IBD community that will reach out to me and they will say, so how is this possible? You must be in remission. Or, like they're like, I've never heard of this. Like, this can't be real. You know what I mean? Like, no, that's not what you mean. And, I'm like, okay, but this is what I mean,
Right.
and I don't mean it in that way, but this is the thing, I remember in 2017 when I felt such in a low place, right? Because I'm like, God, this is not, and it's so funny, my community and church family I'm a part of, they're called the Rock Churches Worldwide, right? And they were supporting me a lot. And of course, my own personal family during this journey. But it's so funny because they would come up to the hospital and they would visit and we would hear what the doctors would say. And, at that time, it was like, okay, we have to get rid of her, whole small bowel, but there's potential for her, to go with our partners who specialize in this. And when I tell you, they globally specialize in this. In fact, in this medical and science technology community, there is a debate whether or not it actually works. They think it's like, a theory. Some of them think it's a theory. And as a result, a lot of people have unfortunately died because of actually utilizing this, right? And so we were like, for some time, it was like, oh my God, is that going to be Aeisha? It was a very trying time. And I remember after receiving the first transplant, and it only lasted for 2 weeks in the hospital, I felt so low. And I remember I was praying and I said, God, in our community, and we said that was the year of complete and total victory. I was like, this does not feel like, this does not feel like victory. This feels like the worst of the worst. Okay. So I need you to download yourself into me and let me know something. And I swear, you know how CJ was saying, you have to speak to yourself. I literally speak to myself, especially now, when I go through my funks and stuff and I'm like, God, Aeisha, I go through that. Okay. When I'm literally coaching myself. Right. And so in that moment, I'm like, Lord, what is this? You know, this is supposed to be victorious X, Y, and Z.
Correct.
He said, Aisha, what did you pray for? What did you ask for? And I had to think at the very beginning of that year, the first thing, we have this thing called prayer petition where, you know, you have a request and you put it to the cross, right? Never had done it before, or at least taken it. I'll be honest, I probably didn't take it seriously. I'll just be honest, okay? So I remember the first thing I put on there was to be healed of Crohn's disease. I swear. That was, and I forgot about it until that moment. So I went and it said, be healed of Crohn's disease. Because they kept saying, you know, God is the God, he makes the impossible possible. I'm like, well, clearly that seems like it's impossible. Let's see. So he said to me in that moment, Aisha, I healed you of Crohn's disease, because think about it. Where's your intestine? And I said, well, it's not here. He was like, exactly. That is the start. This is the start. We have to be open to the process and the way that things are going to happen. It may not happen the way you think it's going to happen, but it's going to happen if you believe, if you trust. And so basically, to answer, you know, I am completely healed of that. Now, the thing is that where I actually have control is my diet, which is why in those times where I wasn't able to eat and all those things, I was researching. I was saying, okay, what type of diet? How am I going to eat? How am I going to carry out my life? God has given me a second chance, well, fourth chance at that time to live. I was like, what am I going to do? I want to make sure that I'm honoring that by acknowledging what I'm putting in my body and doing it the right way. And so because I had so many years to, you know, to have that research and, you know, dip and dab, when it came for the time, I was able to walk right into that wholesome living type of lifestyle. So yes, that's how it worked, where literally God said that to me, and literally my surgeons are like, well, no, I mean, you have the new intestine, you know, you have the new, this is your new life. And so it literally is in my hands from this point, you know, and obviously because of my history of IBD, I'm still going to make sure that some things that I'm eating are not similar to that. But literally, my life is the evidence of that miracle. So yes, by the grace of God.
Crohn's healer.
It's unbelievable sometimes, okay? But I'm here. So that's the thing that motivates me even in my own situations. I go through every day.
Man, what an amazing story.
That
What an amazing story. And so, you know, CJ and Renika, you know, heard me say this before and stuff, but I created Crohn's Veteran because I believe that people that have, you know, had experiences like have earned their stripes, you know, have had medals, have medals on your chest, from all those, you know, so just from me to you, just, you know, much respect and admiration, you know, for just having such a, you know, phenomenal attitude, for after going through so much, because it's really easy just to, hide and, be sad and, have pity parties and stuff. And, but to intentionally be positive, and grounds for that positivity, to me is really special. So, so thank you, Aisha, for, for sharing.
Thank you, Jesus. Something that I think, Renika was mentioning about gratitude and growth. I'll never forget something one of my high school teachers said, is that gratitude is the evidence of elevation. And so basically, when you are grateful for what you have now, it proves that you're ready to go to the next level. Even on adding to what you were saying about how, because this was something I'll be very honest about, in that community in IBD, it can be kind of like this dark cloud of like, oh my God, this is my life, you know what I mean? Like,
yeah.
And for me, I want to change that, because I'm like, why are we like, and I'm not saying it's not a legit thing, but it's like almost a pity party of like, this is me, look at what I have to go through, oh, my life. But something that I learned is that if they could just know what you have to do is have a healthy distraction. That was something that I'm telling you that literally got me through all of it. My healthy distraction was Christ, but actually understanding what Christ's heart is. His heart is for people, period. And so when I began to invite that idea of people and making sure that I'm inspiring, I'm uplifting, building up people, that I'm ensuring that they understand their purpose, that they're bigger than, and they're defined. Next thing you know, I'm not even focused on my issues, right? I wasn't focused on all those other things. So that gave room for the actual miracle to happen, because I wasn't so on all of that. And guess what? Another thing, our emotions are a choice.
Correct.
Another
Yes.
thing. Emotions are a choice. You can choose to be angry because someone just stepped on your shoe, or you can say, you know what?
Pizza.
Maybe they didn't mean to. Or if they did do it deliberately, say, you know what? I'm gonna actually excuse myself, pray for you, and I'm gonna choose to remain in my joy.
Big
Because
facts,
that is
big
such
facts, right?
power. You don't understand how much power that is to just say, no, I'm going to choose, even though this situation gives me so many rights to be upset. No. I'm going to be happy. I'm going to be joy filled. Okay.
I'll definitely agree that there's tremendous strength in that. I will second that.
They are a choice. This was something that someone told me before, a mentor. Emotions are a choice. It's so true.
I agree.
Is that a question,
yeah. Steven said that he had a lot of issues after being in a coma. Do you have any difficulty with memory or remembering being in a coma or being in the coma?
You know, it's so strange. Some things I do not remember, actually. But I think what allows me to remember was because even, this sounds so crazy, so I know it's supernatural, even in those comas, I was writing. It was so weird. Like I was right. So there's a lot of things that I can reflect on and try to connect to. But there, sometimes I do have like some issues with like remembering certain things. I do experience that. And sleeping, I wonder for Stephen if he may have difficulty sleeping, because that's something that I know for myself is not the easiest task, you know, just because I've had a lot of abdominal surgeries, and then sometimes the idea of going to bed, you know, when you've been bed bound so much, it's like you don't want to, like, you know what I mean? So I know for me, things that have helped me in that is yoga. Like I'm doing this 28-day challenge for Black History Month with these cool, amazing people out in Oakland, California, you know, different things like that, breathing, things that calm you, whether it's music, writing, things like that to get you out of your head, you know, to just get you in a calm, relaxed state. And so that's what I've been focusing on, which is also a form of self-care. So I recommend that for him if he can.
He said he does have a very hard time sleeping.
I figure, yeah, that's a common one for people that have been in situations like that. Yeah, definitely. I would say you definitely want to do something that's going to help calm you, you know. So if it's soothing music, if it's reading, writing, you know, I know for me, writing actually helps me a lot. My music is something that soothes me. You know, that was something that was a treasure that was birthed in my trials and was a healthy distraction. I express myself through music, you know, and most importantly, before you go to sleep, if you can, try to do some type of yoga or something, because it'll get you grounded. And like, honestly, after that, you'll be so, like, you'll already be there. So it'll be a really good thing for you to try.
Yeah, that's a very good question, because I don't think that we think about when a person has time where they're in a coma, they're not, you know, alert on their own, and going back to a natural state of rest. It can be very it's not like a therapist, but it can be very traumatized at times. Like, okay, well, I want to sleep again. Like, I'm not gonna wake up, you know. So I never put those two things together. But now hearing you say it and Stephen asked that question, I can see the correlation amongst the two and how they can kind of feel a little like anxiety, and how the self-care would be a helping aid, and you relaxing prior to you going to bed at night. That's a good question. See, something to think about. Gratitude and growth development. Okay.
I know. It's all great. It's all great stuff. So,
It's like it's all great.
Yeah.
It's like a sandwich. It's
right,
yummy together.
right,
Yum, yum,
right.
yum, yum, yum.
So it's really, it's really awesome to to hear all this stuff because it's just just it's just all intentional. Like like your state of mind, and and just how you kind of engage the day and stuff. It's just a bunch of intentional acts to to get the right mind state, type thing. And so but yeah, so I'm kind of curious. And so like so your career in Manhattan and stuff, what are some so like what are some things that you're working on this year?
Oh my gosh. So I'm so excited to even share this. It's so miraculous. So last year, again, that was the growth and process time again, right? After all of that. So I remember I was really devoted to others, and that balance we were talking about, there was none, it seemed as though. Okay. So I was more focused on other people instead of myself. And so literally I heard God tell me, Aisha, what about your career? Don't forget about your career. You're not going to do anything about that. Like, hello, this is your time. And so I remember en route to go and to mentor someone, I said, okay, fine, I'll do it 5 minutes. Okay. So I was ordering an Uber and I sent out an email to voiceover acting agencies because that was something that I knew I wanted to do, post transplant, because it wasn't as physical. I was like a musical theater person. So I was like, okay, now I have an opportunity to do the voiceover world. And literally before I could get out of my building, I got a phone call from an agency, a legit agency. And then a month later, after the process of meeting with them, I got signed. And ever since I've been signed with them, I've been booking these big clients, and it's been such a blessing. So something that I'm working on this year, actually, I was talking to my agent before I spoke to you guys. It's called Access Talent, the agency I'm signed with, Access Talent Incorporated. But I have to add on additions to a project I just worked on with St. Louis University. And so it's something else that I'm going to add. And the funny thing is that I don't have cable. I'm like, am I ever going to see this stuff?
That's
so
you can always Google it. You can always Google it, YouTube it.
Right, exactly. That's
and they
so
told
cool.
me to ask the audio engineers, they're like, make sure you ask them to send it to you. I'm like, no one's going to believe me when I'm telling them what I'm doing. But that's something that's been really big right now is my voiceover acting. And it's really a blessing financially. And no one knows who you are, which is good too. And it's allowed me to invest in other areas, which has really been a blessing. So now I can hone my craft on TV and film. Broadway's kind of on pause right now, obviously, because of given circumstances, but it gives me an opportunity to hone those crafts and film on camera. And then also my brand of Miracles Work, which was inspired in 2017 after, losing my first transplant. It was like, you know what? No, miracles do work. And I was like, I'm going to stick to it. And so it's basically just a brand of things that were birthed in those moments. Books that I want to publish this year, a scrapbook devotional where people can witness the transformation themselves, whatever it is that you need to be transformed, they can see it. There's a cookbook that I want to drop, just little things like that. And so it's different little projects that I'm working on, and music stuff too. So I'm just really grateful.
Right.
You want to sing for us before you leave?
Oh my God. I kind of had a feeling. I was like, the moment you say music, I was like, oh, sure. I will be honored to sing for you guys.
What you sing for?
I don't know what I'm going to sing, but I'm going to sing something.
That was up to you.
You guys want me to sing right now?
I don't
put you on the spot.
I don't put you on the spot or anything.
We don't want to put you on the spot. You don't have to sing on stream if you don't want to.
She's already on the spot. She's in the spotlight. Ain't it right?
I can sing if you guys want me to. I can totally sing for you guys. I didn't know if we were coming too close. I'll sing now. It's fine. I'll sing.
All right, cool.
Let's see. Any requests? Anyone have any requests of anything before I go into something?
No, just pick a pick a favorite of yours.
Okay. Let's see. I will sing. This is an original from my community, from the Rock Churches community. It's called Amazing. Yeah. It's called Amazing. So I'll sing that one.
All right, everybody. Like Amazing by Aiesha Reese.
No, not by me. It's by the Rocks Worldwide. But I'll be covering it.
Cover by Aiesha Reese.
Yeah. But it goes like this. Even after all, you amaze, amazing God. And every time and time again, you amaze, amazing God. That's it.
Awesome.
Let me give you a clap. Stand ovation.
Oh, thank you for that. Thank you for that.
You better come on, Broadway. You better come through Broadway. You better come on Broadway.
I know, you're gonna be, like world famous, real soon, type thing. So
you heard it here first.
Right. Multi-talented, type thing here. So that's awesome.
That was like
the first time singing on the podcast. How awesome is that? That is your voice is amazing. I can see why you were in New York and going towards your dreams, achieving your dreams, taking every step along the way with direction of God. This just in your path, man. This is so awesome. She's a beautiful person. We talked through messages, then on the phone. We had our meeting last week. Like, you are an amazing individual. Y'all have to meet her.
Oh
y'all
my
have
God.
to meet her. So you are super awesome. I really am happy that you're not connected. I really am. I can appreciate you so much.
I appreciate you guys. My heart is fluttering right now with thanks.
Well, you're very welcome.
And I feel like every single one of you guys are so beautiful. Well, handsome and beautiful, obviously. But I mean beautiful in a sense of like, I can feel your warm spirits. It's so
appreciate that. Sincerely. I wish you, continued success in all you do. I hope all your career goals, just you like this leapfrog over all of them and just, accomplish, all kinds of awesome things. So I wishing you well, especially, it's really cool. And, this, sharing your story, I think it's going to, again, as I said earlier, it's going to inspire folks. I really appreciate it.
Wow. Thank you guys so much. I appreciate you guys. And, for you guys too. I mean, your dreams too. I mean, this is a big platform that you guys have here. Like, this is going to be big. It's going to be global. We're speaking that. It's going to be big and epic. It's going to be global. And you guys are going to be moguls for it. Okay.
Right. Thank you. That's the
bring it on in.
I said, if you're watching and you're listening, like and subscribe and support us. So,
but please like and subscribe because this is brilliant.
Thank you. So how can people, support Aiesha, and what you're doing? Where where can they find you?
Oh yes, social media time. So I'm actually in the process of revamping my social media, but you can find me on Instagram at Aiesha Reese, and that's all one word, but it's spelled AEI like the vowels, SHAREESE like the candy. All one word on Instagram. On Facebook, Aiesha Reese, 2 separate Aiesha Reese. And on Twitter, which I will admit I'm not really on, but I do have an account, okay? And I will be on once I get this revamp. It's at Aiesha Reese as well. So yeah. Cool. And also wanted to add for anyone that's listening, if you are in need of any type of support or encouragement, any inspirational words that, can drive you through any storm. It doesn't even have to be, obviously, everyone's here is, listening in the IBD community. But if even not that, maybe it's something mentally, physically, anything. On Saturdays I have a meetup, and this Saturday I have a meetup where we're having a spa night. That's for guys and gals, just saying, because guys got to take care of themselves too. You know what I'm saying? So yeah. Listen, I'm having that. It's via Zoom. It's free from 6 to 7, and we're going to go in and have a fun. So contact me. Comment.
You heard it, gents.
Thank you.
That's awesome. That's awesome. Well, I guess,
Hilarious.
yeah. Well, one last thing, Renika, you want to let the people out there know how they can find Crohn's Veteran and support us?
Jordan, I would, but I think I'm gonna mess something up today. I really feel like my heart will mess something up.
All right.
Too much pressure.
Yeah, I'm gonna mess something up.
All right.
Because my man.
Well, I was trying to do ladies first thing, but all right.
Oh, that was so sweet.
All right. So, all right, cool. Well, you can support us at www.crohnsveteran.com. You can check out our Teespring store, which is also Crohn's Veteran. We have a colitis veteran in honor of CJ and all the other ulcerative colitis folks out there. And you can find us on YouTube. You can find us on Anchor Podcast, Spotify, Google, Apple, Siri, all that kind of stuff. Again, subscribe, support us. We appreciate the love. We're trying to go global, trying to impact people, from all walks of life with IBD, all different backgrounds, get everybody's stories. Everybody's story has value. We're sincerely appreciative of Aisha's journey and story today. We wish her well. Thank you.
Wow, thank you. I love you guys. I love y'all already. I love so easily. Oh my God.
We love you too. Wishing you well. Much success, and and awesome. If you ever need if we can ever be of assistance to you, of help to you, in what you're doing, let us know.
Definitely.
Same. Thank you so much.
You're welcome.
Cool.
That's so amazing.
All right.
Truly.
Very welcome. Bye. All right, Aisha. You enjoy the rest of your day over there.
Okay, you guys. God bless you. Enjoy the rest of your night too as well.
You too. Have a good night.
Have a great night. See you later.
Bye, stream. Deuces.
Bye. Deuces.